Ekteli hazavai. Eredishendo hoproven femi selbi. Irahana la hazai. Alatalu hukun bien fehere delitationes. Dura safen vie finushte so selbo honaruna style. Oren eliviste so can be kenusai. Mirina, when you promise you are a performer, you don't forget your own. Bija hajane ken vienteliste zura hadaba. Inan elohete men ven biken bil manaruna de ket ven misel beruna talpa arasan felu aruna telien tek de figamenes. Yenu del bien ideo saruna dival bin medel desien eruna naka ganaka en lewes menefimendo shajano de serve unurutar aratal femiki jalaso enelwere la 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 yeah oh, you are not a man, you know the lie, you know the disappointment. You are not a man, you never fail. La 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 la, la 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 la. You are not a man, you never lie. Yeah. You never sleep, you never die, you never disappoint. Emeruda salve, binandiente el berediva, I caso noro del mi, Ishijanoro no co salva, El mirene vedisa la nono poco mi dalmi. You're my keeper, you're sustainer, you're my health, you're my wealth, bede servievo. Velu Kirteris, Ancient Edulal Ancient of Days, Etienne Mubora Dafa, Alamintel Veledo Sami, Bana, oh, Bana, Bana, oh, Bana, Bana, oh, Bana, your name is Bana, your name is Bana, Keeper, oh. Your name is Keeper, your name is Keeper. Helper, oh, helper, helper, oh, helper, helper, oh, helper. Your name is helper, your name is helper. Eldroy, Charlie, Shama. Ediatites, Manomo, Ora Novane, Emitila Ono, Senete de Vinarani, Naranani, Teloe, Ezenisheneto, Yenmiente Viratisa. Oh God, my help in ages past, my hope for years to come. Bana, Bana, rock of ages, clear for me. I have hidden myself in you. In your teseve menendelo te sirana ni fal arnado docere S7 emedigia olo bana oh bana bana oh bana bana oh bana oh. Your name is Bana, your name is Bana, Ila oh Ila. Keeper, oh, keeper, provider, a defense. Your name is Bana, your name is Bana.
All right. Good day. Good day, everyone. You're welcome to the third day of my experiment. If you can just do things. Today is the third day, and you're welcome. So, if you would, I can see Aja Grace. I think that's from Facebook. If you would put a reaction on this video, type in the comments your name and which platform you are joining from before we really get started. Today, the conversation is going to be around dominion. The first day was around becoming globally relevant from where you are. Yesterday, which was day two, was about a simple boy with a big dream. And today, we're talking dominion. That escalated fast. Anyway, dominion. If I was to, try to make this into a serious session and all that, there will be dominion rising beyond limits to rule in your sphere. That would be the topic. Dominion. The conversation I want us to have today is not about hype. It's not that kind of conversation where people are talking about dominion and they are all excited, but no one is actually doing anything worthwhile. There is no tangible evidence of the dominion. It is just vibes. It's just inshallah, as the street will call it. The conversation I want us to have is real result driven, result oriented or dominion, and how we can align ourselves to this concept called dominion. Now, dominion is not a it's not a religious terminology. As long as you are a man or a woman on the earth, dominion pertains to you, because if you do not dominate, you will be dominated. That's just how it works. So, dominion is not something for religious people, it's a life mandate. It is wired into the very core of our being as human beings. So, the fact that you are living, walking, breathing, existing, it means that you will have, or you have something to do with dominion. Dominion is you rising, for the sake of the conversation we want to have, it is you rising in relevance and in purpose. Dominion is a life mandate. It is you rising in relevance. It is you rising in purpose. In one of the facts that have been established about our world is that it is a noisy world. We live in a very noisy world. Now, Power can be mistaken to be volume, where everyone feels like, oh, the loudest is the most powerful. And there is a context in which that is true. However, real dominion, even when quiet, is real. Dominion can be quiet, dominion can be subtle, dominion is earned, and it is not earned by chance. Dominion is not something you stumble into. Dominion happens or is a result of competence, of wisdom, and of a light, which you can call clarity. Dominion is a fusion or a combination of competence, of wisdom, and then of light, which you can also call clarity. And so today's conversation, we want to, at least for the introduction to to this conversation of dominion. So I try to divide my teaching or my conversation into like four segments. And the first segment is to redefine dominion in the 21st century, and also to make a case for dominion. Because if we do not understand why dominion is needed, any conversation we are having is irrelevant. It's the late Dr. Miles Monroe that said, if the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. If we do not know the purpose for the thing or the concept called dominion, then we will abuse it. Excuse me. Now, dominion is wired into our DNA as man. I have said that before. And when man was created, just like when a pen is created, there is a purpose in the heart of the creator. There is an intention for which a manufacturer creates a product. Now, when the product man was created, when the product man was created, the intention of the creator or the manufacturer of man was that man would have dominion. So a man that does not have dominion is betraying his manufacturer, is betraying his creator, is betraying himself and his core reason for existence. Dominion is wired into our DNA as man. You were made to have dominion. I know it sounds, for those of us who have a conservative background, it sounds far-fetched. It sounds boastful. It sounds prideful. It sounds arrogant even. But I'm telling you that the fact that it sounds so does not make it untrue. You were made to have dominion. So whether your name is Aja Grace, your name is Michael Oluwatosin Mercy, your name is Miracle, whatever, you were made to have dominion. That was the intention of your creator for you as a product. Like I said, I'm trying to redefine dominion and make a case for dominion. Now, when majority of us hear dominion, what many people think of is control. And while that is a part of dominion, really, real dominion actually begins with control of yourself. your mind, your emotions, your habits, your choices. Real dominion starts with you. And I can use myself as an example. It is because I have dominion over my emotions or my feelings to an extent that this session is happening. Because today, like that, I think it's Bruno Mars's song. Today, I don't feel like doing anything. But there's a level of mastery I have, or a level of dominion I have over my emotions, that I choose to behave in contrast to it. If you cannot control yourself, your mind, your emotions, your choices, your decisions, your actions, your habits, then we can't talk dominion, because that is where it starts. It is written that a man who can subdue his own spirit is better than a city that is fenced. I paraphrase, that's not exactly how it is written, but the main point is that even in a guarded city, a man that has not built himself, that has not mastered himself, is still unsafe. Now, I am a student of many things in history, and while I was studying how the greatest empires fell, I realized that these people were solid in knowledge, solid in everything, but one thing was missing. They were not solid in character. So why that is important is that when there was no external force that could conquer them, their internal decadence was what eventually ate them up. So when an empire or a company or an organization gets too big that there's no external thing that can destroy them, they should be wary of their internal structure, because then those within can destroy them. What has brought down the greatest empires has been internal, has been within that empire. So that's why real dominion actually starts with you mastering yourself, with you mastering your own emotions, with you mastering your own mind, your own habits, your own choices, your own actions. One of the instructions to man was to tend and keep before he was told to rule and subdue. Now, it is important because you don't gain dominion by chance. You actually gain dominion by cultivating the garden of your own life. The way it's supposed to work that you have dominion on the world or in the world is it's supposed to come inside out. You're supposed to have gained a level of self dominion, a level of self mastery. And by doing that so well, it begins to extend. It begins to extend to the environment around you. And by stewarding that well, it begins to extend to places beyond your physical reach. But firstly, it starts with you. You must first tend and keep yourself before we can now start talking about you ruling and subduing. Dominion is not gained by chance. You gain it by cultivating the garden of your own life. You are not called to impress the world. You are called to influence the world. You are not you are not here to impress. You are here to influence. Cultivate the garden of your life. Tend it, keep it. And by being faithful in the tending and the keeping of your life, you will begin to have rulership. You will begin to subdue on the earth. Another thing that comes to mind here is the fact that you can't dominate a space you have not studied. While, yes, it is true that any area that you find yourself, that the mindset that started the problem in any system cannot solve the problem in that system. That is very true. However, if you want to solve the problem in any system, you must understand what the problem is. Yes, you're coming with a superior mindset, you're coming with a solution, a superior perspective. Yes, but still, you must still understand what the problem is. What I'm trying to say is dominion comes after responsibility. You don't rule the world until you can manage a garden. Dominion begins inward. It starts from inside you and then it spreads around you. So if your inner world is in chaos, your your influence, if it ever happens, will soon collapse. So the first part, like I said, is I'm trying to redefine dominion. I'm trying to make a case for dominion. Moving on to the second part or second segment, still under dominion, is sorry, excuse me. Second part is going to be touching identity, is going to be touching clarity, which I also call light, and the economy of knowledge. Like I said before, you cannot dominate what you don't understand. You can't rise in a world when you are continually hiding. And this is one place where I will talk to believers like myself that somehow we believe being called apart means separating ourselves from the world, whereas our existence is supposed to be something like we are in the world but not of the world. So we have a superior lifestyle, a superior mindset, and we are the influence. We are the light of the world. We are the salt of the earth. We are the ones that bring changes to the system that we find ourselves. You cannot dominate in a system you don't understand. You cannot rise in a world that you are hiding from. So, the first thing life will challenge is not your gift, it's your identity. One thing that I have found to be very important is that for a person to be successful, for a person to be prosperous, for a person to have dominion, the person must have, how would I put it, must be strong in the knowledge of their identity. you must understand and know who you are, who you are made to be. It is from this place of clarity, it's from this place of clarity that you can begin to have influence on the world. It's from this place of clarity that you can begin to effect changes in the world. If you are not solid on what your identity is, the world will give you an identity. And many times I've found out that the identity they will give you is wrong. So if you do not know who you are, if you do not know who you are meant to be, the world will tell you who they want you to be. And many times, 9 times out of 10, it's a wrong perspective, it's a wrong definition. There's this story of the prodigal son that gets to me. Now, it was the son of a rich father. His father had servants, his father had a great expanse of farmland, riches, and all that. Like, he was also a rich person by extension of his father's wealth. However, he collected his inheritance and left his father. I mean, yes, I understand that independent mindset. Okay. Yet he spent all that he had and he started working with a piggery, and things got so bad that he started eating with the pigs. And in all this, in my head, I'm like, did his father die? Your father is still alive. But because of how eroded his knowledge of who he was, who his father was, he started eating with pigs, like literal pigs, not men acting as pigs. And what it took was him sitting down and realizing that I have a father. This is not who I am. And it was at that point that he made a decision to return to his father, and things changed. All he needed to change his situation was a remembrance of his identity. Who are you? We can't talk dominion if you don't even know who you are. The moment he remembered that I'm the son of a rich father, dominion was restored. What you don't know, especially about yourself, is costing you. You are losing ground. You are losing time. Ignorance is blissful, they say. But the day knowledge comes, you will realize how deadly ignorance is. Pardon me. What you don't know is costing you. Stop outsourcing your thinking. Sit down, think. Identity is the foundation of dominion. Identity is the foundation for dominion. You must be solid in who you are, who you were made to be. You don't grow by making noise, you grow by knowing, especially knowledge of your identity. Some of us claim that we want to build empires, but even even ourselves, we don't know. We're confused about ourselves, but we want to build empires. Comrade, relax, clarify, then build from light, build from the knowledge of your identity. That's all I'm going to say on the second segment. Moving on to the third segment. The first one was me making a case for dominion and redefining dominion for this century we are in. The second one is talking about identity, clarity, or light, and the economy of knowledge. Now, the third one is dominion as, I'm looking for the right word to use for that part. Dominion as economic and global relevance. Once again, I would repeat myself. You cannot claim dominion in a world or in a system that you don't understand. You can't claim dominion in a world that you don't understand its systems. And let me briefly use the example of artificial intelligence. It doesn't matter how much you fight artificial intelligence, it has come to stay and it will evolve from here. Artificial intelligence has come to stay and it will evolve from here. It will be extreme foolishness to run away from it. Instead of learning it, instead of mastering it, instead of leveraging it, if you choose to run away, I've come to tell you that that's a foolish decision. AI is going to be a tool for those who will rule the world. I know they've told you that AI will take your job. It will take some jobs, but by extension of taking some jobs, it will provide some jobs. It will provide jobs that you have never known can exist. That's what something I was telling. I think it was it the first day now or yesterday? I think it was yesterday. About, or let me say, over 65% of children entering primary schools today will work in jobs that don't yet exist now. That's according to the World Economic Forum. They said 65% of children entering the primary school, the basic education level now, will work in jobs that don't yet exist. You can't claim dominion in a world whose systems you don't understand. You can be called, you can be gifted, you can be spiritual even. Hmm. Yet you will be broke, you will be small, and you will be ignored if you don't master systems. You can have the greatest of calling, you can have the best of gifts. But if you don't master systems, you will be broke, you will be small, you will be ignored. Learn about the systems you find yourself. One of the greatest role models I have, Joseph. He was not promoted for dreaming. He was promoted for interpreting dreams, trends, and eventually for building economic models. Uh, I get that because of our conservative backgrounds, for those of us who have that, we might see that, oh, he only interpreted dreams. No, this guy didn't just interpret dreams, he interpreted the dream accurately and built an economic model out of it. The easiest route to having dominion on the earth is getting an idea from God and then turning that idea into a product or service, in a sense making it on earth as it is in heaven. That is dominion. The marketplace, the world, does not reward potential. Uh, we don't care what you are capable of doing. What we care about is what you are actually doing and the precision and accuracy of what you are doing. The economy does not care about your feelings, it cares about your value. And yes, it shouldn't. I know it sounds harsh, but one of the signs that you are a living being is not in how much you take, it's in how much you contribute. So, what makes a living thing is that it can add value to the society it finds itself. Trees excrete, in a sense, oxygen. The oxygen is how men live. So a tree that gives out oxygen is more of a living thing than a man that is not relevant in a society. A man that does not contribute anything to the society finds himself. The economy does not care about your feelings, it cares about your value. Relevance is not being everywhere, it is being essential where it matters. Dominion mastery is not about being able to do everything, it's about being able to be called or be seen as relevant or as essential where it matters. What I'm trying to say is dominion without competence is loud, though, but it is a loud failure. Study whatever industry you find yourself, like a priest would study scriptures. Global relevance begins with local excellence. It is the person who is faithful in little that much more will be handed over to. It is the one who is faithful in another man's business that will get his own. Then to the fourth segment of this conversation on dominion. It will be dominion as a lifestyle. Or you can put it as the lifestyle of dominion. Dominion is not a one time event. It's not something you do once and it's done forever. No, it's a way of life. Dominion is a way of life. Many people are gifted. Many of us are gifted, but we are undisciplined. Many of us are anointed, but we are unstable. And this is why we lose. This is why we are not relevant. This is why we don't have dominion. There's a story of a king, Saul, that lost everything, lost his throne because he couldn't wait. He moved before the appointed time. How do I put this? Dominion that has not learned patience will crash. Dominion without patience is rebellion. You must be able to, like I said, dominion starts with you. Guard yourself. Do not make decisions in it. Yes, when you have an idea, move on it, but you must be discerning to know the difference between moving and taking action on an idea and moving in haste. Patience is a big part of dominion. Being able to do things because you've decided to do them and not because people are pressuring you to do them is a good sign of dominion. Like I was telling them yesterday on this stream, if you keep blaming your parents now, at the end of your life, you will not be able to blame them. Yes, your parents might have been responsible for where you started from. Your parents might have been responsible for what you look like, at least in the early years of your life. But at the end of your life, you will not be able to point fingers at anyone. At the end of your life, even the counsels that you got from counselors, you won't be able to point at those counselors that this was the person that gave me that advice. It's the benefit or the consequence of your decisions are going to be yours. So if you let, now there are two angles to this thing. If you let people pressure you into doing things you don't want to do, they are not the ones that will live with the consequence. You are the one that will live with the consequence. And the set or the other side of the spectrum is that if you allow what people will think, not let you take action that you know is necessary, your failure will be monumental and it will be no one's fault but yours. There's a lifestyle of dominion. And that lifestyle of dominion, if I want to put it in one word, is self mastery, self leadership. That when no one is watching, you are disciplined enough to do what you said you will do. That you are disciplined enough to stay true to what you said you will do. That is the life of a man that will have dominion. a man that is not pressured by external voices so much that is still able to listen to himself, listen to his God. That is a man that will have dominion. Dominion is not a script you play out. It's not just how you show up in the world. It's who you are when no one is watching. It's who you are when, like I will keep using myself as an example. Is who you are when you are feeling lethargic, you're feeling indifferent, like you don't want to do anything. Yet, because you have said you will do something, you go ahead and do it despite how you are feeling. You know what? Let me. This was I didn't intend to go into this part, but there are 4 or 5 things that makes a person have dominion. Now we have said for you to have dominion over the world, over your sector, over whatever part of the head you find yourself, it starts with you having dominion over yourself, right? Now, there are 4 areas. Is it 4 now or 5? The 4 areas that you must lead yourself aright in, or that you must have dominion in before you can have dominion on the world. It is when those 4 or 5 are in place that you can begin to talk about dominating the world around you. I hope you're still with me. Sorry, please give me a moment. Sorry guys, I'm coming. I'm trying to sort something here. No beat is so close. How can you when you don't know where you're going? You don't know the way you're supposed. How can you fly when you do not? Okay. All right. I'm back now. So I was talking about how for dominion to be possible as a reality in your sector, in your environment, starts with you having dominion over yourself. And for the next 9 minutes thereabout, I want to touch on 4 things that you must gain mastery on, or that you must lead yourself aright on if you will have dominion. And number 1, again, is self-management. self-management, you must be able to order your own self aright. Self-management is you setting order over your own life, setting boundaries for yourself. It is about you becoming a law to yourself. It's about you becoming your own mentor, your own principal. Efficient self management is what determines one's ultimate accomplishment. You must be able to lead yourself aright. Dominion in any field begins with leading yourself efficiently. Those that walk, there's a saying that those that walk with many, those that run with a few, those that fly alone. People who have dominion are committed, tireless learners. They say readers are leaders, yes. You don't know how true that statement is until you, because of the amount of knowledge you have, every sphere you come into, people want you to lead, even when you don't want to. But that knowledge is a byproduct of the time and attention you've invested in studying. Could be reading, could be watching videos, could be listening to podcasts. Dominion in any field begins with leading yourself efficiently. Then the second one is time management. The man who wants to have dominion, yes, must dominate himself, must dominate his time. Time is, like I was saying, I think it was yesterday too that I was saying it, that time is the most democratic resource that you have, or that we have. It's just that not everyone gets the same value for their time. But time is shared equally. Time is our greatest asset. Time is an asset that every single one of us have. How you spend your time, the input you you have in yourself with your time determines the output of your life. What are you spending time with? You can't tell me you're spending time with, you know, comedy. You don't have any work in the field of comedy and you're spending time with comedy and you're telling me that, oh, your life won't be a joke. Because what you spend your life with will determine what will come out of your life. There's no two ways around it. Time is one of the greatest assets of life, if it is not the greatest. So if you love life, don't waste time, because the unit of life is actually time. So second one is time management. I don't want to go too much into it. The third one that determines if you have dominion is tax management. What you do, how you do things. Responsibility is the price of greatness. You must have the willingness and the initiative to take responsibility. That is how greatness is made out of people. It is people that are able to do their tasks according to the time they've allotted for themselves wisely that end up as newsmakers, as dominators in their endeavors. You must be able to invest your time wisely towards the direction of the tasks you've given yourself. Efficient tax management. One of the definitions of a business is the efficient emphasis on efficient trading of time, of talent, of skills, and of energy for the purpose of profit making. So it's not, eh, 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 if you are not effectively trading your time, if you're not effectively trading your talent, if you're not effectively trading your skills or your energy, you can't claim to have a business. There must be an effective in an efficient trading for there to be the existence of a business. What will determine your dominion on earth is not God. Mm. It's not even your parents. It's you. I wish it wasn't true. I wish you didn't have to take responsibility to be great or to have dominion. But it is what it is. Connection is good. That is, who you know is important, but it's not by connection that you determine your position tomorrow. It is the quality of investment of your time, your energy, your resources in your field that determines this thing. Yes, there's a place for the grace of God. And I'm not dull to claim I'm here because I work the hardest. Nope. Nope. There's the place for the grace of God. But what amplifies the grace is the work you put into it. So you must be able to efficiently manage your action in accordance with your time. And then the last one is you must be able to manage your resources. Many of us want to have dominion. We want to have dominion, especially in the areas of resources, finances, but we are not good managers. Poor management is one of the major reasons that people end up poor. You don't wait till you grow big before you start managing well. It is from where you are that you start managing well till you grow big and continue managing well. I've heard of people who win the lottery, people who win the lottery or get lucky in gambling. And you come back a few years down the line and there is nothing to them again. People who are wasters will end up as beggars. And wasting is not just talking about money, it's also talking about wasting yourself, wasting your time, talking about wasting your actions, wasting your resources. Wasters will eventually end up as beggars. You cannot be a waster in any form and be expecting dominion. I hope that I have been able to make a case for dominion so far, and that someone on this stream will start doing things differently, or will take seriously that which they have realized they should be doing. Dominion flows from consistency, not charisma. Every day, every seed you plant are culminating or adding up or compounding into the future you desire. So you can't tell me you desire dominion when your actions today are opposite of that future. There is no future you are coming into. There is only the future you create by your actions today. So be wise in your management of yourself, in the management of your time, in the management of your tasks, in the management of your resources, and build into the future. The future isn't coming, the future is here. What you do today is the future. So, we've come to the end of my gist on dominion. Pardon me, let me call it gist. And I'll be ending the stream in about 2 minutes max. But if you want to work with me, if you want to give me a feedback, a review on how this session has gone, this is my third day of telling myself I can just do things. So this is the third day of I can just do things. If you want to give me feedback, the email that's or my email that you can send mail to is on the screen. So send me a feedback. Let me hear from you. You have an event you want me to speak at. Use the mail on your screen and reach out. I sincerely will genuinely, I sincerely and genuinely want to read from you. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear what you learned. If you learned anything, I want to hear if there's anything you want improved. I want to just hear from you. So send a mail to billionairebokumi@gmail.com. And yes, if you want to work with me too, like you believe we can work together, please shoot me a mail. With that said, we've come to the end of today's conversation. I'm still contemplating if I will show up tomorrow. But let's see how that goes. And take this as the reminder that planning is good, but if you don't take action, there are no results. You can just do things. There's no need to overthink every time. You can actually just decide to do things. Um, a shout out to Benefit. I see Benefit. I see Eniola. I see Gloria. I see Mary. I see Michael Luatosin. I see Grace. I see Miracle. I see Mercy. I see Charity. I see Samuel. I see Hannah. Thank you so much for joining this stream. See you tomorrow if I show up. If you want to work with me, yeah, it's the mailing address, or if you have feedback to share with me. Have a good day. Bye for now.